Good evening, good evening, good evening. Few minutes late, but we are live. Washington football addicts, Washington football nation. Welcome back. It's your boys, the Washington football addicts. I'm Steve.
Yo,
We got Dev down below, and we got Philip in the top right. What's cracking, fellas?
it's another day in paradise.
That's right. We got a little bit of fake snow up in the DMV. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot.
We got some real snow down our way.
Yeah, we missed the band, but I'm sure we'll have more. That's how it goes.
What does that sound?
That's on your end, Steve. These are the beauties of live audio, folks, right here.
I tried to sneak a blunt in here. My girl was like, you can't smoke in here, right? I was like, damn. So she took my weed.
So Dev's
she's gonna bring me a brownie though, so we'll go.
I was about to say, I'm sure you got some form of edible, right?
Yeah,
All right. So I think Steve's gonna have to fix his audio problem. In the meantime,
I had a drink. Oh snap! I was gonna tell her to bring me a drink, and she brought one.
In the meantime, I know we're not talking about our team, but let's just kind of do a quick recap of what we saw this past week as it pertains to the NFC East.
You hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now. See, I was about to keep it going for you here, but
sorry, fellas. Trying to experiment with new audio. That's what we do, but we'll keep it simple tonight.
Edibles and orange juice.
EOJ, E and OJ. Yeah. That's what's up. So yeah, we're live tonight on Facebook and on YouTube. What's up, Derek? Derek Manning, the Burgundy Boss. Go check him out on the Burgundy Boss podcast on YouTube and Twitter. Longtime friend Derek Manning, the Watch Football Addict. We love you, bro. Thanks for joining. Yeah, episode 110, fellas. We'll figure out what we're gonna do with dedications. This is our 110th episode. We're calling it what do we do now? Now what? You know what I'm saying?
Now what?
Now what? Now what? Season's over. So just to kick it off, let's talk about some of the playoff games that we had this following weekend, man. It was a good weekend of football. I don't know how much of the games that you guys watched, but man, it was some really good football this past weekend. How much did you guys check those games out this past weekend?
I got to see, this is how I got to celebrate my birthday. My birthday was this past Monday. Saturday night, I was out. I was with some friends, and they had the Patriots-Bills game on at the bar. Wonderful, wonderful game to just get drunk and eat shitty food too, because I love seeing the Patriots get blown out. The Patriots are on my list of 4 of teams I just hate. But it was just so entertaining to watch because the Bills have kind of looked a little shaky at times this season, especially against the Patriots. But they came out and they were on fire. And if they play like that, they're going to be hard to beat for any team in the playoffs. Yeah. So I watched that. I watched a good chunk of the Rams-Cardinals game. That was disappointing. I watched enough of the 49ers-Cowboys game to laugh at the Cowboys. I watched enough of the Eagles-Buccaneers game to laugh at the Eagles. And those are the things I enjoy. I enjoy laughing at the Cowboys. I enjoy laughing at the Eagles. I enjoy laughing at the Patriots all when they lose. Didn't get to laugh at the Saints because, well, they didn't make the playoffs.
No.
But nonetheless, there was a couple of good games. I caught the Raiders-Bengals game as well. That wasn't bad. That wasn't good either. But there was only a couple of good games these playoffs. Everything else was blowouts.
Yeah. So just starting off Wildcard weekend, it was the Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers, 42-21. Now we all know how the Steelers got in this, right? Everyone was on pins and needles watching the Chargers and Raiders game, and they thought it might have ended in a tie, which it could have ended in a tie had Staley not called that timeout. But I digress. Steelers got in, I think 8-7 or 9-7-1 or something like that. Got the doors blown off by the Kansas City Chiefs, but Big Ben is Big Ben. He took them to the playoffs again. Mike Tomlin never had a losing season. That man is a god among coaches. I could only pray we have someone with the caliber of Mike Tomlin. I don't know how you could say, he's not a fantastic coach. He makes, mountains out of molehills every year with that damn team, no matter what. Good coach. But their season's over. Kansas City's moving on. Buffalo, New England, 47-17, just like you said, Phil. Blowout. Buffalo beat the brakes off New England. And Dev, I know you always say Josh Allen, that's our king, but the man performed, dude. The man did. He had a fantastic game, so he finally has that playoff win under his belt. Still got a ways to go to catch Lamar in playoff games, but Dev, what do you think about? Did you get to watch Josh Allen or catch Josh Allen's recap of that game?
Not at all. Fuck Josh Allen. No, I watch Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen, man. I'm not a Josh Allen hater, man. I'm just thinking. I just think Josh Allen's a really good quarterback with 2 Pro Bowl receivers. I mean, that makes you a great quarterback. That's how I see it. You will find out. True. We get Russ like everybody wants to get Russ. We get Russ. We ain't got Pro Bowl receivers. We'll find out how good he is.
Yeah, that's a fair sentiment, but the argument always goes: does a quarterback make receivers, or the receivers make a quarterback? And in this case, I think, without Diggs, I don't think Allen would be what he is. And I guess you could say the argument for Cole Beasley, but Cole Beasley's always kind of been Cole Beasley. Diggs has always kind of been Diggs.
Cole Beasley's a Pro Bowler. Yeah, I mean, he's a whack rapper, but he's definitely a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, but I mean, Josh Allen threw for 5 touchdowns, 300 yards, 21 for 25, and neither Cole Beasley nor Stephon Diggs caught a touchdown pass. They weren't really a factor. They didn't really have to pass that much, but Dawson Knox, the tight end, caught 2. Gabriel Davis and Emmanuel Sanders caught 1. Emmanuel Sanders is a great wide receiver too, towards the latter end of his career. But
right,
yeah, Mac Jones, rookie quarterback. I think he got farther. The Patriots got farther than anybody else thought they would have gotten. So yeah, Greg Delaney, thanks for joining us, bro. Yep, you enjoyed last weekend. I did too, and just like Tomlin is great. Shotguns. What's crack-a-lack? And we're going to talk about your team here in a second. Our friend Shy Guns, Packers fans stuck in Chicago. Moving on down wild card weekend. Cincinnati beat the Raiders 26-19, and that was a great game. And when this is all said and done, I'll ask you guys a question, but Cincinnati just looked phenomenal. And if you guys did watch this game, there was a controversial play by old referee Booger. I don't know how you say his name, but Jerome Booger and his crew. Joe Burrow was scrambling to the right sideline, and he wasn't out of bounds by any means, but someone blew a whistle, and Joe Burrow threw a touchdown pass. It was about 20 yards out, 15 yards out, and you could tell the Raiders let up. It was probably a second early. The Raiders let up, and the guy was wide open in the end zone, and the cornerback who was covering that guy literally gave him a step, and it was just enough to catch the touchdown pass. So very controversial. The NFL didn't really say anything besides saying that crew is no longer allowed to ref anything in the in the postseason. That just goes to show you. But New England's strong. Cincinnati's strong. That was a great game. I kind of have a good feeling about Cincinnati the rest of the way. So we'll talk about who you guys think who your new favorites after Wildcard weekend. Moving down to the NFC, the 2 games, Tampa Bay and Philadelphia. I mean, first off, fuck Philly, right? I don't even think they should be there, but whatever. They got in. Tampa beat them 31-15 without AB, without Chris Godwin, and it was the Gronk and Evans show, and they look pretty good too.
Right,
Brady's Brady. But Philadelphia, man, they look. They look.
We shouldn't have been there. We should have been there, man. Could have been us getting blown up by Tampa Bay. We beat Tampa Bay. Yeah,
we sure did. You know what I'm saying? But it'll be. I don't think Brady. They're going to make it that much further, given their lack of injuries. But I think they're getting.
I think they will. That defense is still that defense.
Those
linebackers are still that linebacker, man.
Yeah.
Who are they playing next round? Packers.
San Francisco.
Yeah, they can't beat you.
I'm sorry. No. They are playing. Green Bay's playing San Francisco. Tampa Bay's playing the Rams.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, and so the next game, Dallas and San Francisco. 23-17, San Francisco pulled it off. Kyle Shanahan got himself another playoff win. Fuck Dallas. If you remember, it was a back and forth game. Jimmy Garoppolo was very efficient. If you remember the game at the very end, there was probably 15 seconds left. Dak decides to run a quarterback draw to keep the clock ticking like a dumbass when they were giving up the sidelines the whole time. He does a quarterback draw up the middle, and the clock continues to go because they have no timeouts. And the Dallas center puts the ball to the ground. Had he given the ball to the referee, probably could have saved himself maybe a second, and they could have spiked it. But he put the ball on the ground. The referee, by rule, has to be the last one to touch the ball before it snapped. And I forgot that, to be honest with you. And so that extra second of the ref touching the ball caused them not to get a Hail Mary off from 30 yards out and lose the game. So, but fuck Dallas. Nobody cares. That was the end.
Look,
hey, Marcus.
As much as we've seen horse shit go Dallas's way, let's be real. They deserved that one. They earned that one.
Right.
Yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't have to do a whole lot. I mean, he was 16 for 25, 117 yards and a touchdown. Didn't have to do much. Eli Mitchell, 96 yards rushing. They were efficient. Of course, Dak, 23 for 43, 254, 1-1. That San Francisco defense was relentless, man. That very underrated. Ezekiel Elliott, 12 rushes, 31 yards. You know that man's going to make like $15 million next year. That dude's under contract for like the next 5 years. They are screwed with
man.
And I love it. Dallas.
People will make dumb comments about
They can cut him, right?
You bring in.
Yeah, with a lot of dead money.
Yeah, but you see, a lot of people make comments about Washington brought in guys who got hurt. Oh, they just robbed us of money. Well, our guys got hurt.
Yeah.
Zeke just doesn't play. He's a part-time.
Well, there's been rumor that he played all year with a torn I forget what it was, meniscus or something. Well, either way, should have been playing because Pollard was much better all year.
I mean, I could get an agent and they could put a rumor out there that says that I have a 13-inch penis and I star in adult films under the same name. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's true.
Showed up. Squirt Reynolds. He's making $12.4 million base, 1.5 in signing, 2.6 in an option, 1.7 in restructure, 18.2 his cap hit next year. If they cut him next year, $30 million dead cap before June 1st.
So he's definitely not getting cut. 0 chance.
If they release him if they trade him post June 1st, 5.8 million dead cap.
Yeah, that's
2023, it's 11 million dead cap. But dude, they are screwed unless he restructures.
It ain't really Zeke's fault though. They just don't run the ball.
No, it's not his fault.
They don't run it. They don't run it at all. Like they run like 7 or 8 times. That's crazy to me.
Oh, Boise State. What's his name? Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. The guy who's getting all kinds of interviews and stuff coming up. Marcus says it was a great Sunday. Dallas Cowboys lost and Dallas fans were crying. Yes, it was. We weren't there, but it was great to see them sit on the couch with us because there's plenty of room on the couch.
By the way, here's another observation that I had. Actually, I had this observation from the last week of the season too. We're not the only franchise in the league that has a problem with being invaded by opposing teams' fans.
Oh, yeah, they did raid.
Dallas gets invaded often. The Rams get invaded often. There's a few others that see just they'll get a massive influx. Anytime the Steelers play somewhere, and I get that. You'll notice that a lot of these teams that have this, they're getting invaded by teams and by fan bases from cities that are just not as cool as the one they're going to.
Yeah.
DC's a transient area. It's a lot of touristy stuff. Everybody wants to go see the Capitol, so you'll always get the fans traveling. Pittsburgh fans will go everywhere. Dallas is a warm climate. And they're a lot less restricted about certain things in cities like San Francisco. So 49ers fans are going to travel to Dallas. And this is just a matter of fact. The Rams got invaded But of course, that's because they're the Rams, and nobody in LA itself actually cares about pro football.
Which is crazy because they're a good team. I mean, hopefully they'll be.
They got to win 3 Super Bowls in the next 5 years.
They're on path. They're on track now. We'll see. Marcus says Stephen A. Smith been funny all week. Yes, he has.
Man, he's been hilarious.
Smith, he has been hilarious. And Skip Bayless,
when he said he made a bet with Michael Irvin, said he had to dress up wearing a apron and clean his mansion. Said that Stephen A. had to clean his mansion. They had won.
Did he? Oh,
yeah,
man.
he said he didn't bet Michael Irvin. He said he just bet if he had to come on the show. He tore his ass up that next day, man.
Yeah. What up, Greg? Greg Delaney's joining us. Said Dallas is $14 million over the cap. Good, man. And here's another comment. Greg says 49ers planted their mailbox in Dallas. If I'm not mistaken, they did it last year too. Was it last year? I'm sorry. The last time they were in the playoffs, whenever that was, or towards the end, there's a picture of the Dallas Stadium just covered in a sea of red.
Yeah.
I forget. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Maybe it was 2 years ago. It might not even been a playoff game, but San Fran came into town and they traveled, man. Let me tell you, that was pretty nice. Pretty nice. So that was the Dallas-San Francisco game. And then the L.A. Rams versus Arizona game, L.A. was just, dude, it was a beating. L.A. looked so good on every single unit, offense, defense. I mean, Matt Stafford was crisp. He looked good. Aaron Donald on the defense, and who else was on that defense? Jalen Ramsey. They just looked like they were out there and they had Kyler's number. Let me tell you, Kyler was 19 for 34, 137 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 sacks, a quarterback rating of 40.9. But I will tell you, that man was under duress the entire game. And if he wasn't mobile, it would have been so much worse. There was a safety in there too. I mean, they just completely neutralized that offense. And yes, they didn't have Hopkins.
Hey, he's a whole different machine without Hopkins, man. I tried telling y'all that too. I was like, he's a whole.
He is a cheat code. He's a cheat code, but Hopkins, man. I just figured they would have did a better game plan to, Cliff Kingsbury would have did something to counteract that. But I feel like they tried to run their normal game plan,
right? Which is good enough to beat most teams, but it's not good enough to beat a good team.
Not a Sean.
They're one of those teams also that they're one of those teams that too just refuse to run it, and then it gets to a point where you can't run it.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what happened to Arizona. Now the Cowboys weren't never out of it. They could have kept running any time and refused to, but
they refused. Arizona was out of it in the first quarter.
It was like 21 early. So it was like, well,
yeah, they were out of it. And Matthew Stafford barely had to pass. He threw the ball 17 times, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 sack. They just ran their ball down their throats. Let's see. I don't trust him. 38 runs. Bro, you don't trust. I would trust Matthew Stafford with my life.
I don't trust him. I mean, Arizona's fake, man. I don't think they were ever good without Hopkins. I think without Hopkins, they won like 2 games.
Yeah.
So they were like 10 and 9.
They ran the ball. Kept the ball out of Kyler Murray's hands and won the game.
Yeah.
God, who's been calling for that?
I know.
It's hard to run the ball.
I am rich. What
Miller, up? Miller, Aaron Donald. It's got a hard task.
Joining us from YouTube, I am rich. Thank you for joining us. He says AJ Green is good, but no Hopkins. That's true. Without Hopkins, Hopkins is a cheat code. He's like Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams. That you just throw the ball. He's gonna catch it. It ain't fair. Tyreek Hill ain't fair. He should not be in the game. He is Bo Jackson at Tecmo Bowl. That's
Greg Lane asked a good question. Greg Lane asked a good question. Is Sean McVay on the hot seat if they lose?
Absolutely not.
No. Although I will say this, if he doesn't make it to the NFC Championship at least, the seat gets a little warm. He's going to at least get to the NFC Championship.
Who they playing against again? The Rams?
Well, so I'm going to go over that right now. So the preview for next week, starting with the NFC, Tampa Bay and LA. I think LA is going to win.
I don't think it's going to be a shame in Tampa beating them either, though.
No, there's not. But the Rams already beat LA the beginning of the year when they were full up 34-24. So I don't see the Rams losing again. They just looked too good. But I could be wrong. It's Brady. It's hard to bet against Brady. Y'all know that.
And then beat Brady.
And then we beat him twice legend of Taylor Heineke, right? And we beat him
We
this year too.
Hold on. Taylor
Well,
Heineke lost to Tom Brady
in the playoffs. Yes, we
Yeah.
showed out last year. We beat them. We beat them this year.
Come on now. We do not want
You got to play
Heineke
Brady though in the
any
first
more
game.
ammo.
And then moving up the list, it's the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers, which I don't think, I don't think San Francisco.
If they get behind, it's over. If San Fran has to pass, it's over. Like
Yes,
it's over.
they're not built that way, and neither is
Yeah.
Jimmy G. They ain't built
Right.
that way. They are built to run the ball.
We should
stay
stay a
in the
little
lead.
louder because a lot of people think we're gonna want Jimmy G. I'm like, dude,
Actually,
he can't beat you. He
it's kinda
can't beat you.
kind of like Washington. It's a very
Yeah.
Washington-like team. You're built to.
Right. They have running backs that are like more like
Yes.
running backs.
You're not built to beat the brakes off people. You're built to get a small lead, let your defense hold it, and just maintain ball control, possession. Like Phil would say, when we on our 4-game winning streak, what did we do? We ran the dang ball. Like Miss Tui said on the blind side, run the dang ball. And we did it.
Right.
Going through a couple other comments. Marcus says, shotguns, the great Jimmy G would turn the ball over. If they played us, he tried to give the game away Sunday. You know what? He did. San Francisco tried to give the game away, and Dallas just kept giving it right back.
Man, cause Coach Shanahan is suspect in close games. I mean, look at the Super Bowl, man. They had them won. They had that Super Bowl won. He just refused. He refused to do anything other than run the ball for 5 or 6 yards and punt to play the clock game. That's all he was doing. He shut down everything he was doing to get the lead. It just said, hey, let's keep away with him, and you lost.
Yeah. Yep. I am Rich as everything is set up for Mcveigh win the Super Bowl. I mean,
I
lives
don't
in
trust-
LA.
I don't
He's got
trust
a
the quarterback,
very
man.
You don't trust Stafford. Stafford's
No,
never been
man.
in this position before. He's been in the armpit of America from the north, which is
I
Detroit.
wear none of his excuses,
Dude,
man.
The
Like, look,
armpit of America.
one and 3 in the playoffs, and the one team you beat,
Detroit.
they have the best receiver in the league. Everybody knew they was going to win that game. Hey, you beat Green Bay, did not believe it. Who they playing?
Well,
Who not playing Green Bay?
They're playing
San
Tampa.
Fran.
They playing if
Tampa.
they beat
Yeah, you
if
beat
they
Tampa, I
beat
believe
Tampa. Okay, we'll see. We will see. I
And
think
it's got to be a hero too. Like how it's Heineke to beat Tampa, it's got to be Stafford to beat Tampa, not Aaron Donald and Von Miller getting 65 sacks.
okay.
And like that's why they won. I mean, Stafford didn't beat Arizona, bro. Like he was throwing 5-6 yards passes and they was gone. Like he was throwing the ball to Odell Beckham 7-8 yards and he was gone.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
He
was
went
throwing-
downfield multiple times on.
Yeah,
those.
when it was over.
I got to pull it up. Stafford is so
It
clutch.
wasn't
dude.
over in the first quarter when he was hitting Cam
Man,
Akers
they
out
ran-
the backfield for 30 yards.
Yeah, but he was
downfield.
throwing to Cam Akers. He was throwing for Cam Akers 5 yards upfield. He was running about 30 yards. He was throwing to Cooper Kupp. He was throwing Cooper Kupp on little screens.
I'm not going to
on
let you
passes
put
where
that
they was coming
narrative
off of illegal screens. He was catching them, and he was just gone. Like he was throwing a slant. He threw a
He
slant to Odell Beckham. He was gone.
Hey, that's
the
how
sideline.
Brady lived. Brady lived like that for 5 years with
I mean, I
Julian
agree.
Edelman and
I
what's
agree.
the other guy's name?
5, try 15.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
Yeah,
am-
Randy
I
Moss.
am-
Like, they
The
think he had
only
Randy Moss had like
time-
50 touchdown passes.
The only time, I should say, but Brady didn't live off of that was when he had Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was living off that. And Stafford is much more of a downfield passer than Brady is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's got
Stafford's a
cannon
talented
for an arm.
dude, man. But
And he's clutch,
he
dude.
never.
He's got that
Yeah, but-
tenacity. He's got that.
I ain't
fire.
seen him win no games in the clutch, man.
Bro, he used to
The
destroy
playoffs.
us on a daily basis. Well, he was on Detroit.
Well,
He
who
was
are we
every year.
though? Who are we though? We nobody.
I'm just
talking
saying.
about-
I remember.
I'm talking about a good
I-
team, bro. In a
I
key
am,
moment.
well, he's Detroit. He went 1 year. He only had Megatron to throw to for like 10
Man,
years.
I'm gonna start using that excuse every time Tyler Heineke goes like, "It's Washington, man. He'd be good anywhere." That's crazy talk, man. Like you got
He's
to,
a-
you
he-
know,
I think
Lamar
he's got
Jackson got nobody. Go playoffs every year when he plays.
it. He does. But
He
is
got
it him or
nobody.
is it his defense?
His defense was crap last year and this year, which is why they ain't made the playoffs. He didn't play.
Let's
Lamar
go to
Jackson.
some more comments. Hey, Washington football team declassified podcast. What is up, Mr. LE? Thank you for joining us. LE says Sean Mcveigh is there as long as he wants to be. Yes, that's true. He's got
Oh,
his
he
own
gonna get-
ticket. He ain't
I
going
predict
nowhere,
a sex
man.
scandal. Less than
He's-
3 years, somebody gonna say
No.
something about him getting fired. It'll be a sex
That
scandal.
could be
Watch.
the only thing that takes him down is
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There's too many girls like him in LA, man. All you
Yeah.
see if you watch like TMZ Sports, all they say is this guy's going out to dinner with some girl and all this
Right.
stuff. He's got a whole girlfriend, but they always are on her. It's a matter of time till something happens, man.
If you haven't already done so, go check out the Washington Football Team Declassified podcast on Twitter and YouTube. And also, they have our website, Washington Football Team Declassified. Go Google it. I don't have it queued up, but they do have a website as well.
I don't think it's going to matter because it was with Sean McVeigh, because I've talked to enough women to know that anything that man wants will be consensual.
It don't matter if it is. It just knows what they say. It doesn't matter if they say it ain't. You know, that don't matter if it is. Hey,
That's true.
Hey, also everybody wants Jimmy. That dude's the porn stars, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, everyone loves Jimmy. Marcus says AFC Championship, Buffalo Bills or Tennessee Titans, Rams versus Green Bay Packers. All right, hold that thought. We're going to come right back to that in just a second. I want to ask these guys these questions and go through a couple more comments. Greg says the 49ers win the Super Bowl if Jimmy G doesn't miss wide open Emmanuel Sanders. Yeah, that's true. Right. Was that 2 years ago? 3 years ago. Could be wrong.
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah. I am Rich says they cheated Detroit against the Cowboys when Stafford was there. Yeah, that one time he had the chance to make it. Shy Guns
won a Super Bowl if they had kept Alex Smith in and not put Kaepernick in for that last throw. They didn't touch pass.
That last throw was so close, man. Shy Gun says everything goes through Green Bay. These teams are hot, warm climate. Green Bay is freezing weather this year. That's true. That's a good point. They really are. They really are. Well,
Detroit, hey, I keep saying that, but Matthew Stafford played Detroit, bro. Detroit's cold.
In a dome.
Even though there's a dome, but he still lives there, though. You know what I'm saying?
70 degrees.
He still had to walk inside the stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but as soon as you're
I tried Stafford.
He did play Chicago and Green Bay every year. That was 2 games every year.
I'm going to ask y'all 2 questions. Number one, is Stafford a good quarterback?
Yes.
How much y'all like him, right?
I like him a lot.
Y'all think Stafford's going to win?
This offseason.
Y'all think Stafford's going to win the Super Bowl?
Yes. Will he or can he?
Will he?
Man, that's
Goff made it to the Super Bowl, bro. So you telling me you spent all that money, you pay all them picks and all that money to get Stafford, and Goff took you further? That's a failure, bro. That's a failure.
He can get there.
Goff made it there.
Yeah. True. Hey, just going back to what you said.
He'll have a better showing than Goff did.
Just going back to what you said.
I'm back for playoffs. You tripping?
Ryan Elias says that's a fact. My wife wants Sean. I said for the right price. Yeah,
right.
For the right price. Yeah. Ryan also said the game when Stafford broke his collarbone, he went downfield and scored the game when that was clutch. He played us with a broken back, dude. Like he's a solid player, man.
Aren't anyone name a game one time Matt Stafford won something that mattered? No one can. He couldn't win a game this year in the regular season that mattered. When games was on the line against good teams, he lost 31 of them, man.
He beat Tampa 34-24.
Well, when you're blowing,
we beat Tampa 34-24 something.
That's all that matters.
We beat Tampa by that much. Who cares?
Beat Arizona, lost to Arizona, beat Arizona a second time, beat Minnesota, beat Baltimore,
when they beat Arizona again. When they beat Arizona, they didn't have B-Hop, they didn't have Hopkins or the quarterback.
But the Rams also lost to Green Bay mid-season, 28-36. So that's something you got to watch out.
There's actually one other. There's the reason why I pause. I'm saying he'll win the Super Bowl. We're going to get to that in a second when we talk about the upcoming games.
Yeah, Derek says Stafford's a 10-15 quarterback. That's good. That's a good consensus. I'd say a little higher. I'd say like 7-12 if you ask me. Maybe 8-13 ish.
He's somewhere in that 7-10.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
he's a B.
Yeah.
Minus.
Well, we've only got to the NFC, fellas. AFC, 2 games. Kansas City, Buffalo. I think that's going to be the game of the week for me.
That's coin flip
for me. Whoever that win Super Bowl. Whoever win that game.
Hold on. Let's answer this because we got to move on. And then the other game, Tennessee and Cincinnati. So let's talk about this. Tennessee, Cincinnati, Kansas City, Buffalo. Who's going to the AFC Championship?
Tennessee is definitely going to the AFC Championship, and y'all sleep on Tennessee, and I get that.
Number 1 seed in the AFC.
They were number 1 seed, and they set an NFL record for the highest number of players used.
Yeah,
or highest number of players that have played in a game for any team in the history of professional football because of so many injuries they've had,
Yes.
and they're still the number 1 seed.
That's like when Jay was on the team and we won training staff of the year, but we also led the team in IR, like injured reserve players. That's what Tennessee's doing, but they still managed to be the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Exactly.
That's so impressive.
And they're getting
So
Derrick Henry
impressive.
back. They had a solid run. They developed a solid running game without Derrick Henry, and they're getting Derrick Henry
with
back.
what's the guy's name? Foreman?
Dante Foreman.
Yeah.
That dude impressed me so much when I saw him against Miami. He's got good vision. He hits the hole hard.
All right.
And you're gonna have him as part of a 1-2 punch with Derrick Henry. And this is a game that should be easily winnable enough that you don't have to run Henry 30 times coming off injury. You can let him ease back into the game.
Yeah.
Tennessee I'm telling you, until Buffalo and Kansas City is going to be a toss-up because both teams high-powered offenses, but defenses that can sometimes just let it go.
Give it to me right now. Who, as of stands going into the division week, who are your two going to the Super Bowl from the AFC and NFC?
I think I could see it as LA versus Tennessee.
Okay, that's a good one. Dev,
now
who you got going?
Okay, go ahead. Here's the dirty thing. Did you see the Titans play the Rams earlier this year?
Did not.
And this is before they developed Dante Foreman, so they didn't have much of a running game. This is when they were going with Adrian Peterson and Jeremy Jeremy McNichols and all those guys. And they still their defense just blew up the Rams offense. Like they figured out that Rams offense in ways no one has. Now, granted, Rams offense is better now than it was then too. But Matthew Stafford looked like he was having flashbacks to when he was getting hammered by 5 defensive players every play in Detroit. And I think Tennessee is a team that can do that. So if it is Tennessee and LA, I have to go with Tennessee to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, that's fair. Dev, who you got going to the Super Bowl coming into this week?
Yeah, fuck. Kansas City, Green Bay. I think that's my 2. But look, man, I'm telling you right now, though, I'm not putting nothing past Tennessee, man. They're too balanced. I mean, they're too balanced without Henry. So imagine with. I don't know, maybe it throws everything off and they become too dependent on Henry when he comes back to their detriment, but it was winning with them. So I don't know. It pretty much Tennessee plays like Dallas should play.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go. Man, it's gonna be hard. Kansas City, Tampa Bay play. I mean, Kansas City and Tennessee. Who plays in the AFC? You says the Bills and
Kansas City, and then Tennessee and Cincinnati.
Man,
tough one.
This should be a good weekend of football, period. None of these games should be outside. I don't see any of these games being blowouts except the Tennessee game.
I would like to see Cincinnati win. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just like underdog.
Yeah, I'm with you. I want Cincinnati to win. They will not. Yeah. I want them to go all the way to the show.
Yeah,
it's a great. So who are you going with? Final 2 Super Bowl right now.
Green Bay. I don't think nobody beats them at home. And I'm gonna go with the Chiefs because until I see somebody beat Andy Reid, ain't happening.
Yeah. Derek Manning says Derek's gonna be at the Kansas City Buffalo game. Ooh, that's gonna be phenomenal. So for me, I'm going. This is out of left field. I'm going Green Bay and Buffalo. That's
so we all pick Green Bay then, right?
Green Bay and Buffalo. I think we all pick Green Bay. No, you said you said the Rams.
I just don't see them going to Green Bay.
I think Phil said the Rams too. I think it's gonna be the Rams and Green Bay in that championship, and Green Bay is gonna go. It's gonna be. I'm gonna go with Green Bay and Buffalo.
I don't think the NFL is gonna let Green Bay win. They'll find some way to cheat them.
Really?
I'm just being serious. I think they'll find some kind of way where Aaron Rodgers cannot win. It'll be another from a ruse. It'll be some kind of tuck rule, something that happened to where they should have won. It'll be like in the basketball when we saw the ref clearly smack the ball out of bounds from the Wizards.
Hey Dev, send Cordero the link, man. Let him.
It's in his Facebook.
It's in your Facebook, man. Check it out. So Marcus says Buffalo Bills versus Green Bay. I'm with you, bro. Greg says Green Bay versus Kansas City. That's a good one. Derek says Cincy versus Green Bay. I want Cincinnati to go so bad. I just think it would be fantastic. And they look good. It's just that they're unproven. So it's like
I like Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati being who they are, just because they're great for for fantasy player pickups. They put up lots of numbers, but I just don't see it. I don't see where they match up well with any of the three teams that are left in playoffs.
Yeah, well, they beat San Francisco this year. They beat Kansas City this year. Who else? They beat the Chargers.
Well, hell, we beat Kansas City for a half this year.
They beat Green Bay earlier in the season. Just throwing that out there.
Shotgun's gonna call in here and tell you how that was a fluke.
Minnesota. They just beat Kansas City. That's right. January 2nd, they beat Kansas City with the full up against Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow threw for 446 and 4 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, another cheat code. 266 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Jamar Chase is Deebo Samuels of the AFC. They're the same guy.
My gosh. Yeah, because they've actually been using him more in a running capacity.
Right.
As the season goes
like
on.
Jamar Chase is so much better than Deebo Samuels.
Yeah.
He was the 5th pick. I wonder how many people ahead of him were like, shit. But I think, it was us. It was in the 2021. I'm trying to remember the draft order for 2021. This past year.
I don't even know.
I can't even remember. It's so far behind. But yeah. So okay, we all have different. Okay, let's bring in shotguns. Shotguns. I think we all. Well, Phil says the Rams are going to go from the NFC. Dev and I both think Green Bay is going to go from the NFC to the Super Bowl. What did you want to tell us?
All right, let me tell y'all something. So let me educate y'all on this. Do you honestly see Tampa or the Rams going to Lambeau beating them?
Nope.
You know why? Okay, let me explain this to you, Dev. And let me explain this to you, Phil.
I got them going to championship.
I'm the only one who doesn't see them winning.
Wait. Hey, just listen. Pay attention to this.
I'll listen.
You guys know how damn cold it is? It's twice as cold it was this year than actually last year. Can you imagine tackling A.J. Dillon this year? Can you imagine tackling Aaron Jones this year? The offense scheme this year is actually ridiculous this year. Defense is even better this year. I mean, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna tell you like this: the only team that I was scared of was Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay is not the same team they was last year. Tampa Bay was scary last year. That defense was actually ridiculous. They also had both of their wide receivers.
Yeah, Godwin and Brown are out.
Yes, it's totally different. The 49ers is actually the 49ers are going to try to rely on this little scheme that they run the ball with Deebo Samuel, all that bullshit. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. If you saw,
they got 3 Pierre Garçons on the team.
Yes, listen. Let me say something. If y'all see that Week 3 game, they only had 67 rushing yards against us. 67. Our defense is totally way much better. Way much better. Offensive scheme, way much better. Ain't no team is coming to Lambeau beating us this year, bro.
Marcus is saying Packers are getting everyone back too.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Yeah,
I'm telling you, bro.
You say that.
So
y'all
let me first say that.
Everybody say that till Nick Bosa is running them down. I mean, it's
Nick Bosa.
That's not really
bro. Guess what? Our left tackle's back. Left tackle's back.
There's Bakhtiari, right? David Bakhtiari.
He's back.
Yeah,
bro.
he's a beast.
He's back.
He's a beast.
He's back.
I'm still going.
Can we really trust a guy whose last name sounds like bacteria?
And you gotta understand this though. The 49ers, they don't blitz.
Yeah.
They don't blitz. And you gonna give Aaron Rodgers all that time in the pocket like that? Oh my God.
While we have you on here, let me ask you a question from I Am Rich.
Go ahead.
We have an objective mindset. Is Jamar Chase head and shoulders better than Jefferson and McLaurin? McLaurin, absolutely. Is he better than Justin Jefferson? That's a good one.
No.
Justin Jefferson,
why I'm not sure.
Jefferson's better, and Jamar's better than McLaurin. Stop it, man. Look,
no, absolutely. They're both better.
Two of these guys are all-stars. Two of those guys are all-stars or all-pros, and one isn't. Right?
I'm gonna tell y'all this: Jamar Chase is not going to do as much what he did last week against the Tennessee Titans. they're
Yeah.
gonna have a scheme. You know, it
ain't
actually
gonna
comes from regular season ball to playoff ball. Playoff ball is totally different than regular
Man,
season
they hand
and everything
Jamar
like that.
Chase
I'm
the
just
ball out
saying
of the
the
backfield.
Raiders.
You know, it's
Yeah,
funny
but
though.
Jamar Chase definitely not gonna.
They hand
LSU,
Jamar Chase the ball.
LS,
They had Jamar Chase the ball in the backfield a lot, so it ain't gonna matter. The thing that Shanahan does real well is he'll take Jamar Chase and move in the backfield. That takes your best corner and turns into a linebacker because now he's got to set the edge, and then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And that's what he does, and you can't beat, dog. That's why Debo Samuels is so good. He don't really kill you receiving. He might get 1 or 2 on you. He don't really kill you, but what he's gonna do is catch a screen and run it 30 yards, or run a reverse jet sweep, run it like 30 yards. Or you're gonna be so scared of it, your linebackers run one way and the ball's going the other way. To Kittles run up the sideline, and that's how they beat you.
But you know
Rock
what though?
you
The
sleep.
funny thing is though, I won't be surprised if the Bengals make to win that game though too.
Yeah, I won't be. You couldn't surprise me if anybody
Think about
in
it.
AFC
Think about
goes
it.
to the championship.
It would
Because
be
you know what?
none of them
Because
would
guess what?
surprise me. None of them would surprise me, but it would be
Derrick
the most
Henry is back
surprising.
now.
Yeah.
Huh?
Derrick
Hey,
Henry is back.
Back
Derrick
to the
Henry is
question,
back.
back to the
They're probably gonna
question
rely
at
on him a
hand.
lot.
Is
The real
Jamar
MVP of the
Chase
year.
better than Justin
Head and
Jefferson and
shoulders
Terry
better?
McLaurin?
No. I want
No.
to see Terry McLaurin with
No.
a good
Yeah.
quarterback.
I think his head and shoulders better. Y'all tripping?
I agree. I think
No.
I think his head and
No.
shoulders
no,
better, man.
better
Justin
than
Jefferson
McLaurin.
is a beast, man.
Jamar Chase is not head and shoulders better than Jefferson. Those two are probably neck and neck. But remember,
Yeah.
this
They're
is
both
this
head
is
and shoulders
Jamar,
better than McLaurin.
this is Jamar Chase's rookie season, so there's not a lot of film. Next year, we'll see, because Justin Jefferson, he's still balled out his second year. The question is, can you sustain that? Head and shoulders better than McLaurin? I would say yes, and a lot of it's because physical abilities, right? McLaurin's a small dude. These other two, they're massive. They're 6'3". They're huge guys.
I want to see.
Hey, but you know what else is?
Before I agree or disagree with that declaratively about McLaurin, I want to see McLaurin play with a real quarterback.
Man, y'all can't say that, and that's the same reason y'all call Kirk Cousins sorry the whole year. You see what I'm saying? Like Kirk Cousins suck, but all of a sudden Jefferson got a good quarterback. That's why he's better. You know what I mean? No sense.
I never said that.
A lot of people out there like Kirk. I take Kirk Cousins in a heartbeat. And also, I feel the same way about what's the other guy, Chase. I mean, he's playing with a second-year quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Say what you want to say.
Who else is good though too?
If he was that good, how come them other receivers ain't doing it before he got there? You know
who else is good too though?
Who's that?
Who's
Don't
that
bring up
there
the
with
Packers.
Chase?
Who?
T. Higgins? T. Higgins?
Listen to this. Nope. The Dolphins
CJ
wide receiver. They rookie wide receiver.
Oh,
he ain't got the numbers. You can't say nothing about me without the
Jalen.
No. He actually do got 1,000 something. He actually got 1,000 too.
1,000 ain't shit.
Well, let's just
Jefferson got 1,000 yards. Jefferson got 1,000 yards.
Look it up, Steve.
Jefferson got 1,000 yards as a second receiver on this team.
Jalen Waddle, 104 receptions, 1,015 yards, 6 touchdowns, averaging 9.8, and that's
a crap average.
That's with Tua throwing you the ball. But look, between the two
quarterbacks,
they only threw for 3,800 yards, so that their quarterbacks kind of suck. Tua better than Heineke?
Right. No, my Bobo.
I'm not on that bandwagon. Y'all know my feelings.
Waddle's nice.
Yeah.
But
Ref the District, thank you for joining. Hey, if you guys haven't done so, go check out Ref the District, putting out all kinds of great content, multiple days a week. Go check them out on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Thanks for joining, Nathan.
None of them better than Hopkins.
Yeah, Marcus says Kirk Cousins is like a stripper. You see her naked, but you won't get no tail later that night. Oh, that's rough, man. That's rough. That is rough. Okay, listen, we've talked about playoff football for almost 45 minutes, so we probably only have time for 1 or 2 more things. But Chagos, just stay with us, man. You might as well just join us for the rest of the show. We're going to start talking about the quarterback carousel that is possibly in play for the Washington football team because the draft is so far away. All we know right now is that we're calling it what? The Big Four? We're saying Big Five, fellas. We said the people that might be available to be shipped out or traded. Aaron Rodgers. I know, don't take offense to this, but the rumors are swirling. Aaron Rodgers, not to Washington, but in general. Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson pending legal issues. And now you're starting to see Kirk Cousins stuff flow because Mike Zimmer's fired. They have a whole new GM and they're going to bring in a new coach, and he's very expensive. So we'll call that the big five of potential quarterback landings in Washington. They're all going to require some draft capital. Actually, I don't think I think Rodgers' contract is just expiring. Am I right?
No, it's not. He reworked it to where it's not a financial burden for Green Bay to trade him. He had a poison pill kind of contract, but they restructured it so that they could trade him where it's less of a cap casualty for Green Bay. That's how
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
Hey,
if they
I
didn't
heard
do
that. I heard that quarterback from the Giants supposed to be released.
Daniel Jones,
it.
but
They're not
I
gonna
don't
cut
think
that
people are going to be
deal.
clamoring for Daniel Jones. Okay, so the Packers have
Daniel
Aaron
Jones or
Rodgers.
Heineke, who you think's better?
You said who?
Exactly. So you had to think
Daniel
about
Jones.
it. Yeah, if you have to think
Jones.
about it, then that's that's the answer. If you have to think about it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I
only
don't
because he has a
understand.
better
No,
arm.
I just had to think about how is he significantly better? It was
He's bigger,
not
faster,
significantly
stronger,
better.
younger. He's bigger, faster,
Yeah.
stronger, and younger, man.
I give the edge to
Those are
Daniel
the things
Jones.
that's better.
The guy that
Remind
runs
these people that he's younger because a lot of people think that Heineke is a legit rookie. And
28 going about. It's about to be 29 here real soon, by the way.
Yeah.
Ain't old. That's old for the '90s quarterbacks. It's not old
It
for
is.
2021
not.
quarterbacks, man. That's
Brady-
not old.
It's
at all.
Brady-
old. It's
he's
old
probably
when
got 10 more
you're
years.
consisting your first playing time.
He
Yeah,
probably
for-
still got 10 more
for
years,
season.
bro.
So Rodgers on a contract for 2022 and 2023. His cap hit next year is $46 million. His cap hit for 2023 is $33 million, which is
Worth every
respectable.
dime of it.
He
And
is.
what's messed up about it? Everybody's going to complain about the $46 million, but you realize that Russ is probably going to be paid 40, and not even as close as good.
Yeah.
So everybody wants Russ, and you got to go with the same picks. Basically, you got to give the same amount of multiple number ones to get either one. So I'm just saying, if you're going to have to give up, I like Russ, man. I think Russ is a good quarterback, but if you have to give up the stuff it takes to get Russ, might as well try to go get Rodgers. It's going to be the same thing, and you're going to get a better quarterback. Like, I like Russ though,
Did you just
but
say that?
I don't understand why you would give up multiple picks for Russ, then pay Russ $47 million to come to Washington to lose because ain't nobody on the team with him.
So Seattle has an out next year for Russell Wilson. His salary next year is his cap hit is $37 million. But if they release him, they'll have a cap savings of $11 million and a dead cap of 26. If they trade him after June 1st, it's only a dead cap of $13 million for them, and they'll save $24 million if they trade him after June 1st. So if I'm Seattle and he doesn't want to be there, and Pete Carroll's gone,
Pete Carroll's got the word he's gonna stay. So
so maybe that might change the dynamic. But Russell Wilson, you saw the news. Russell Wilson says that he's open to testing the market.
Yeah, the Giants. He wants to go to the Giants.
Probably, or somewhere to get closer. You got to think about his wife is in Hollywood. The market, the New York market. It would make sense.
He wants to go to New York, and so does Watson. Watson said New York or Philly.
Yeah. Man, Watson's I mean,
that's Philly. I'd do it, man. And I like Hurts. He's not going to be as good as Watson. I like Hurts, but I'd do it. They got 3 first-round picks and Hurts. I would dangle all them shits. I'll give you 2 of these and Hurts.
Check this out. Marcus says Aaron Rodgers stay in Green Bay. I believe that. Russell Wilson will get traded to the Steelers. I didn't think about the Steelers. Derek Carr, not David Carr, it's his brother, staying with the Raiders between Deshaun Watson or possibly Kirk Cousins.
Deshaun don't want to be here, and
I don't think Deshaun wants to be here. I don't think Kirk wants to come back.
In my opinion, I would, out of all those names, in my opinion, the way it fits money wise, I would go after Kirk, and it sounds crazy, but I mean, if any of those, my personal thing would be Aaron Rodgers, Watson, or no one, and then I would just say as draft the guy. I'd go after Mike Willis. Like that's what I'd be. I'd be like it'd be those 2 or no one because I'm not paying $40 million for a C quarterback, dog. It makes no sense. That's going to hamstring you for years.
I agree.
Like you'll never recover.
Okay. I'm gonna bring this up. First of all, the Kirk Cousins thing.
Like Stafford and the Lions would got rust out.
I want. There is a sick, twisted part of me that wants us to get Kirk back just to see the reaction from this fan base, the insane meltdown it's going to be watching the world burn, and I would just sit back with my popcorn and enjoy. Not because I really want Kirk back.
It's gonna be Garoppolo, bro.
But it would be
gonna be.
no.
Y'all finna be real.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be real mad, but it's gonna be Garoppolo. It just makes so much sense, man.
It doesn't
make so much sense.
Okay,
it's gonna be him or Baker. It's gonna be
why does it make sense?
Because they're young still, and they're like the end of their contracts, and they got something to prove, and they got a guy behind them, or they don't want nobody, or the other team don't want them. Like the Cleveland don't want Baker, man, but he's still young. He got one more year cheap.
Their team doesn't want them. It does not make me say, well, that makes sense for us.
Well, that makes them available, though. You got to think of who's available and how it fits. Anybody else we get's going to $40 million. Baker won't. Neither Garoppolo. They're going to be in the $20-something million range.
Point, Dev. At some point,
you got to spend the money.
You got to get this Bruce Allen mindset of we give mediocre players bargain contracts and talk about how much money we saved. We've got all the money under the cap, and we're not going to. Who are we going to use it on? We got to use it on somebody.
I mean,
I'll tell you who we're going to use it. I'll tell you who we're going to use it on. I'll tell you who we're going to use it on. Probably stupid ass Brandon Sheriff's where I go $20 million a year because we got think about it, dog. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna suck. But I'm telling y'all now, we're gonna have 46 right now. We what like 60-something million in cap space. That's before we start negotiating and cutting contracts, right? 60-something million, they gotta spend it, bro. And what if you're gonna make a dumbass move like sign a guard to 20-something million? This would be the year to do it. Not saying you should do it, but if they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it, bro.
There's no if.
The only doubt I think it might not happen is because we've already heard Mayhew say that we've already offered him a contract. He shut it down. It sounds like they're kind of putting out the crumbs out there to say that's our fault. He turned it down. That's the only saving grace. But either way it goes, if they don't re-sign him, soon you're gonna have to re-sign Chase. Soon you're gonna have to re-sign Terry. Soon you're gonna have to make a decision on if you're gonna get another strong safety or whatever, or free safety, and Landon Collins. We got to figure out something. There's no way you cut that guy now, right?
No, you run that hybrid Buffalo nickel defense.
Right, so you're going to have to get another safety or a corner. You're going to have to bring back McCain if you don't bring him back another safety. You're going to pay a lot of
bringing back McCain. They already said that.
Yeah, Sheriff's making $18 million this year. You don't pay him more than that. He's gone.
You shouldn't even pay him $18 million. That's too much. He was the highest paid guard before we franchised him. That's too much for a guard.
Sheriff's PFF ratings, I think, expose there's some kind of flaw in their methodology that he gets as high a set of ratings as he does. Because sometimes I swear he's the worst of the linemen.
But the same thing though. What do they grade the other ones by then?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think out
we're gonna have the money. So
for Baker, so they picked up his 5th-year option because you're stupid if you don't, right? $18.8 million is his salary
that's cheap
next
as
year.
Fucking shit. That's cheap as shit.
If anything before June 1st, you can trade him before June 1st, and you get all of that back in cap savings. If you release him post June 1st, you're not going to release him. You trade him post June 1st, you get all $18.8 million. So you trade him before June 1st, you trade him after June 1st, you're getting $19 million back in cap savings.
When's the draft?
End of April.
Yeah.
All right, so the draft's in April, right? We'll have them before April. If it's Baker, we'll have them before the end.
April 28th through the 30th of 2020.
I don't know how I feel about Baker Mayfield.
Baker is going to be Baker.
Here's the thing.
I like Baker more than
Baker is an improvement over Taylor Heineke, and anyone in our fan base who says differently, you're drunk. Yeah. But he's much better than Taylor Heineke. He can throw the ball downfield. I just don't know how much of the Cleveland struggles were Baker and how much of them were.
I'll answer that for you. He had Landry and OBJ, and he was still terrible.
And the joke.
We've already had this discussion.
And what about Matt Ryan?
You have 2 Pro Bowl receivers, and you're not in the Pro Bowl yourself. Dead giveaway. Look at all the other teams in the league with 2 Pro Bowl receivers, and then tell me which one of the quarterbacks are bad.
If you're Washington, who's better, Baker or Jimmy Garoppolo? Who are you taking if you have the opportunity to get either one?
Taking either one of those bums.
I don't want either one of them suckers either. Guess what? Right.
That's hold on, Dad. Let me think about that.
One of them's gonna be here, man. It's gonna be somebody.
I could flip the corner on that one, Steve.
Jameis Winston is probably in there too, or Mariota. It'll be somebody like that,
on that one because I don't know
James
because
is a free agent. Mariota's a
I
free
guess I
agent.
say Baker.
Yeah. Well, check
I
this
think
out though.
Baker
This
is.
might inform you. So Jimmy's 31. If they release him before June 1st, they save $25.5 million. So you might not have to
Might
pay
do
for
it.
him at all. He might. I mean, you might not have to
Yeah.
trade draft
They're not
capital
gonna.
for
They're
him.
not gonna cut that guy out.
Baker's under contract. You
Right.
trade him before June 1st, you get $25.5 million cap savings. They release
And
him
you're gonna give up
after
and
June
you're gonna
1st.
give up.
Either way, in every possible scenario, trade, cut, pre-June 1st, post-June 1st, the 49ers save $25.5 million. So that tells me he's gone. Trey Lance, it'll be the same path that Mahomes took to
Yep.
get in Kansas City. It's going to be Trey Lance's turn. So Jimmy is gone. Either he's getting cut or traded. He's done.
And guess who got Alex Smith when that happened? Guess who got Alex Smith when that happened?
But hey, it's not Andy Reid. We will
Guess
not
what?
get released by Andy Reid this year.
Guess what happened when Philadelphia got rid of McNabb for Vic? Guess who got that guy?
Andy Reid, though. Andy Reid's not in San Francisco.
Look at the history, dog. Look at the history. Steve Young went to Tampa Bay, man. Who got Doug Williams?
Yeah.
And let me ask y'all something though, right quick.
Can I point something out real quick? Just real quick.
You didn't look overrated in that playoff game the other game.
I'm looking at Jimmy G's. I'm looking at Jimmy G's numbers.
I would take Baker over.
I'm just not impressed. Other than 2019, he hasn't had a good season.
Jimmy is Taylor Heineke with a better arm.
He was decent this year. Yeah, he's Taylor Heineke with a better arm.
Yeah.
I don't want anything. No, Jimmy Garoppolo, he had the same number of touchdowns and 3 less picks than Taylor Heineke this season. No. We can do better.
Let me ask y'all something
The difference is Taylor Heineke wasn't supposed to be starting this year. Fitz was. That's the difference. So you got a certain quarterback that's making backup quarterback numbers, huh?
Let me ask y'all something. Who would y'all rather have as y'all quarterback since like this is the topic? Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. Unless the other guy's Jesus, I'm going Cam Newton, bro. I'm fucking with you. Ain't
that true?
So Cam
who else?
I think he froze up on us.
You froze on us.
Man.
That's the funniest pros ever.
Okay.
Okay,
so
I'm back.
Cam Newton,
Baker, or Garoppolo.
Cam Newton. Not even that's easy. I can run an offense with Cam where it's just read option all day, man. I can do it all day. I can do read option.
It's happening next year.
All day with Cam. I would take him. Like this is what I'm saying. I'm cool with all these quarterbacks. Honestly, anybody that's an upgrade, I'm cool with. But I don't want to give up a first for fucking Baker or fucking Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean you got.
I don't want to give up multiple for. I don't want to give up multiple first for Russ because that's going to happen, man.
Yeah,
and you're going to have to pay Russ $40-something million to hamstring your whole team. Then you end up being the fucking Lions basically. You rest for like 5 more years because you can't get rid of this great quarterback.
Maybe not. What if he signs like a 6-year deal and it's like 30?
Man, then we're going to be sorry for 6 years with a good quarterback, bro. We're going to be Detroit for 6 years if you go get Russ and give up 2 or 3 first-round picks and $40 million.
Rich says Jimmy G wins though. You know what?
Jimmy G
Kirk Cousins does not win.
Alex Smith wins 10-5 last year.
Alex Smith is a perfect example of a quarterback who's not very good but has won a lot of games.
I would say Jimmy G has a better arm than Alex Smith, though.
Man, Alex Smith probably missed less games. He barely had a leg. Alex Smith played almost played the whole year with half a leg. Garoppolo can't play a half a season, period.
Ryan Elias says, if it comes down to Baker or Jimmy, I feel Baker comes with the same type of energy, but Taylor is a slight upgrade. Ooh, Taylor is a slight upgrade over Baker. Okay.
His upgrade is he knows the offense. That takes it.
Upgrade over Taylor. So has Taylor's energy. The problem is Taylor's energy is the same as when you give a kid with ADHD a whole bag of sugar and send them running through your house.
Cam's washed. I'm not going to lie to you. Cam's washed. That's my guy, though. But he's washed. But I still take him over Jimmy and Baker.
Yeah,
if I got to pay a first-round pick for any one of those guys, I'm taking Cam.
Yeah, well, Cam's not going to cost you anything. He's on the street. It's cost you nothing. You have to factor that in. How much draft capital will it cost?
I've already told y'all, I would rather just keep Heineke and groom a rookie than to pick up one of these fucking C-list celebrities.
And this is why we had this conversation, because we've talked about trading draft capital. We talked about scenarios and topics and what it's going to cost. And and knowing Ron Rivera, he's not fiscally conservative, but he's
what if they what's
draft
your favorite
capital
movie?
conservative.
What's your favorite movie of all time, Steve? What's your favorite movie? Like, you pick one to watch right now.
Man, you got to give me a few minutes.
Just
The
make
Martian,
one up.
The Martian.
The Martian. All right, that had Matt Damon in it, right? Now, what if they said they're remaking The Martian in like 4K? It's gonna be awesome. Matt Damon don't want nothing to do with it. Instead, we're gonna put David Hasselhoff on Mars and make the fucking Martian movie. Now, is that movie good enough to still be good with fucking David Hasselhoff in it? Then why the fuck would you want to have the Redskins with Jimmy Garoppolo? It don't make no sense, right? You know what I'm saying? You can have all the supporting cast you want, bro. You can go out there and get all these guys you want. You still gonna have Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback.
That was a great analogy, by the way, man.
I'm just saying, who would do it? That's like watching The Gladiator with Steve Urkel.
Yeah. Oh, I am rich. Alex Smith has a contender right now.
Contender for the first pick of the draft.
We no leg Alex Smith for sure.
They have broke leg Alex Smith 10-5, bro. Tripping.
Bro, we won this in spite of him.
We won in spite of him.
Yes.
Well, I'll take it.
Anytime we had to rely on Alex to try to bring us back, we ended up losing
10 out of the 5 times we won. That's what stats would say. You know.
Hey, Shaggy, let me ask you this:
he blew a chance to beat the Giants. Why
don't we trade for Love? Y'all want to trade Love? Y'all want to get rid of Love?
Well, that's what I was about to ask him. What are you hearing about Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers? Because that's kind of changed the whole dynamic. Not that people are going to be scrambling to get Jordan Love because you don't know what
Jordan Love just going to be in. Jordan Love is just what they say that I've been hearing about. Jordan so supposedly this is what I heard so far from the Packer community. They're going to franchise tag Devontae Adams next year.
Okay.
So that's going to make, Rodgers kind of like stay. And supposedly they actually just going to keep Love. Because
he's under
nobody really wants him.
Right.
Nobody really wants him, to be honest. Dev, you even said it. That dude is garbage, so.
I don't think Love's really garbage, though. I'll be just shit. I just wonder if you go into a whole off season as a number one quarterback, and you get all the practice reps as number one, your season looks better than you coming off the bench. I'm not going to knock him yet until he gets a fair shot at being the number one guy. But I don't know. I wouldn't trade y'all number one for him. If Green Bay said give us a 3, I'd give it up in a heartbeat.
Oh man, I'll tell you, he looked like booty cheeks against Detroit, though.
It's that hard to do, though. Either that lets you know how good Alex Smith is, or or he's just really bad.
How good Aaron Rodgers is.
Y'all want?
Man, I would give Jordan Love. I would give Love a shot before I would give Mariota and fucking Tyrod Taylor and fucking Jameis Winston, Cam Newton. Why wouldn't you give Love a shot as much as they get one? Personally, like, who would you rather have?
Trade for Carr.
Give us a first.
You're gonna give up a Carr though. Carr's gonna get paid too, 40-something million. This next contract's gonna happen.
I mean,
but that's actually what I heard though. I heard that Devontae Adams supposed to get the franchise tag.
Yeah,
and that's gonna make Aaron Rodgers stay.
Man, one of these days, somebody needs to give up their pick for a franchise guy. Like, if I'm Washington, like I said that whenever fucking what's the name was a franchise, OBJ got waived. Why wouldn't Washington grab OBJ? He couldn't refuse it.
Yeah,
you would have had him for 3 years unguaranteed. He would have all 3 years of his contract unguaranteed, so he could be waived.
Yeah,
who's throwing him the ball?
It doesn't fucking matter. If it don't work out, cut him. No season. If it don't work out, it wouldn't have mattered. That's why. People are so nice in the NFL. I would have been like, OBJ's a free agent and I ain't got to pay nothing for him guaranteed. Easy. We need a second receiver anyway. Worst case, Terry becomes a second receiver. OBJ is better than Terry. You know that, right? Are we in agreement to that?
Yeah. Lose, but I-L. What happened to the rest of your letters behind your head, man? They fall off the wall? What's going on?
Lose, but I don't know what this is.
I may win.
But
I may win, lose, but damn, it's in Dallas colors. No wonder it's losing.
But all these scenarios are
purple and gold, but it don't have gold.
They're all moot though, because I honestly feel that Ron's not going to do any of that, and Ron's going to get us a rookie and start Taylor next year. That's my fear.
I hope that's
I
what he
don't
does.
think he's going to start
That's
Taylor
not a
next year. I
fear.
think he is
Or I'm
falling
sorry,
out of
he's
love
gonna.
with Taylor.
I agree. I mean, but he said a couple things at the last press conference we talked about the last podcast is they will do whatever it takes to get a quarterback, which means they'll probably swing and miss on some of these veterans, right? Just like they did with Stafford. They'll probably draft a guy, but he did say if we get a rookie, he's starting from day one. You guys remember that he did say that. So, but I think you have to get rid of Taylor because people are clamored with him. They're like it's just this lunacy cult like following. Like you gotta get rid of him and shit, bring back Kyle Allen. I don't care. Bring somebody. Who cares?
I don't want Kyle Allen to do the same
Listen,
thing.
guys. All you members of the Heineke Hive, you may repent now and join me in the path of righteousness and light. And I say this as someone who has a game ball presented to me from the Washington football team. All right. You don't have one. I do. So follow me.
On what? Not Twitter. Not on Twitter.
Don't follow me on Twitter because you're never going to find me. Follow me out of the darkness that is this Heineke Hive and into the light of something new, something better, something that's not mediocrity. Let's go. And
show us this ball.
Legit.
Game ball or is it a ball?
Sent this to me today.
Is it just a ball?
It's a game ball.
Game ball. Present. So they must have painted it. Is that paint like on the white side?
It's the vinyl and everything.
Okay.
So you was one of the fans that basically fell over the rail.
I'm the one that put the zip ties back up. I'm holding this thing together with duct tape and super glue.
That's right.
Number one, Randall's punk ass got 4 fucking points, dog. Like,
random Knicks talk. Anyway,
yeah, out of the blue.
Terrible.
Well, I think that we we had a agenda to talk about many other things tonight, but
no, I want to know. Like,
what?
I got one for y'all.
Go for it.
Mike Tyson versus Bruce Lee. Who y'all got?
Mike Tyson versus Bruce Lee.
And what kind? Are we talking?
What kind of combat?
Like, if they was in an alley and started fighting, who you got winning? For Mike Tyson, Bruce Lee, 130 pounds, bro.
I have to say, I love Bruce Lee.
Ain't no cameras in the alleyway, bro. You can't get the stunt double.
Bruce Lee is my idol. Trust me, Bruce Lee is my idol. I know everything about the man. I modeled my life off the man. I love Bruce Lee to the death, but I'd say Tyson. Yeah, you're talking. He was a 125-pound guy, and then going.
I don't give a fuck how many wooden.
I think Bruce Lee is one of the few people.
With your forehead, bro. Mike Tyson, every time.
I say Tyson. Yeah, Tyson.
Street fight, that means anything goes. Tyson only knows how to use his hands. We don't know if he can throw a kick.
It don't matter if he throw a kick, man.
It's true.
Bruce Lee was had some of the best reactions of any human being.
Man, none of
he
that's
would dodge a lot of those Tyson punches.
None of that's gonna matter when he catches one. All it's gonna take is one.
Look, to be honest, y'all need to take a shot for Phil for his birthday. I mean,
I want to, man.
Happy birthday, Phil.
Let me go get my shot glass.
Do I have to go get liquor to do this? Do y'all want to do it for real?
Sure, why not?
Hold on, let me go get some.
I don't know. Shotguns, you got something to drink it since you're on this show with us. You got something to drink.
I'm actually waiting for Saturday to drink it though.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't want to jinx myself. So.
That's fair. So I guess we're taking a shot for Phil's birthday since it just happened a couple days ago. But yeah, 39. 39. That's right. We are all in the latter stages of our career as this goes into the extended overtime of our podcast.
I'm only 34.
There you go. 34. While we're waiting, I Am Rich says, was it Jimmy as much as Shanahan? They'll be going home because they're not as good as Green Bay. That seems to be the consensus.
Yeah. We're going to see Saturday, man.
Marcus says, happy birthday, Phil.
Thank you, Marcus.
39 years old.
I spent at this awesome joint down in Harrisonburg called Urgie's. It's a cheesesteak joint, but the guys, it's really like they just took it's a tiny hole in a wall bar, but they serve like legitimate Philly cheesesteaks, like with the whiz and everything. and they serve Genesee cream ale, $1.50 a pint.
Is that
Cream
Jägermeister?
soda?
All right, man.
You say cream soda?
My girl's
Cream
gonna take
soda?
one for your birthday
No,
too,
cream
man.
ale.
She loves
Cream
Phil.
ale.
My girl loves
Genesee.
Phil, man. So she want to take one
Hey!
for Phil. She want to take
Alright.
one for Phil too for his birthday.
You got on
You
that
want some, you
Jägermeister.
want some Rumpelmans
I got
or
the
Jägermeister?
Tully.
Which one you want, babe? You want some Rumpelmans?
This is the shit right here, y'all.
going
If
to
you like Irish whiskey,
What
this
is that?
it.
Going with the national champs right here. The Kool-Aid here, national champs.
Uh-oh.
Georgia?
Green Bay. I like that.
Saluting
says
the
Georgia.
podcast champs
Yes.
right here.
Marcus, salute.
Salute,
I'm going with
Ryan.
Basil Hayden
Salute.
bourbon. I've been drinking that
I'm
the whole
going. I'm
time.
going with Rump. I'm going with this. Yeah,
At least you drink
guys, a
some.
big shot.
Cheers.
Drinking this.
Cheers.
Red Bull in there, make it a bomb. Lime. That's not approach or inappropriate.
That's how we do. We celebrate the best of all worlds here on the Watson Football Alliance.
And I'm going to eat my edible too. See this?
Whether it be your edible, whether it be your
What is
drink,
that?
whether it be your beer, we support it all.
Whether you be
What is that, Dev? A brownie?
Mm-hmm. It tastes just like weed though. It doesn't have any brownie in it at all.
Oh man.
I mean, technically
man.
speaking, I think, with ethnic backgrounds and everything, our podcast covers 5 continents.
Probably something similar. I got to do a 23andMe to see where else I'm from. I'm probably, those things are kind of.
Hey, Steve.
Yo.
Dude, I did a.
So my prediction on the Super Bowl.
Yes. What do you got?
If it's not Green
No,
Bay,
he got.
I feel that it'll be the Rams. And
Frozen. Rams and Frozen.
See,
His
this
mind
is how you know
frozen with the Rams beating the Packers.
Frozen.
There's no way I'm gonna have my favorite team in the league be the number one seed in the playoffs and not pick
Green
them.
Bay. I think it's
Well,
internet
my
to Green
bad,
Bay
my
'cause it's
bad.
frozen.
My
Okay.
bad.
He
Okay,
didn't pick Green Bay, guys. So don't y'all know his team is the number one seed in the playoffs. He still didn't pick.
So I'm just saying, if it's not Green Bay, I feel that it's the Rams and the Bills.
Rams and the Bills. Okay.
Yep.
I like the Bills the other way.
Yep.
I think the Bills are going all the way.
I think it's Titans.
Yeah. It'd be great. It'd be great if it was the Bills and Titans in the AFC Championship. Oh my gosh, that would be phenomenal.
And I
You
think
know that
and
gets
I like
played in
Tennessee
Nashville
Titans.
again.
I'm not gonna lie. I do like the Tennessee Titans, but I think they're gonna mess up this
Yeah.
week because they're gonna
They
change.
get a situation where they got to pass. It's probably over.
Yeah, because they're gonna change up their game plan, man. It's gonna be Derrick Henry, and they're gonna just
Well, that's what they did without Derrick Henry. All they did was
Right.
run the
They
ball.
still just ran it.
I know that, but
they
it's
ran
just,
the same game plan. They just didn't miss a beat. Dante
What's even
Foreman.
more impressive is not only did they not have Henry and still won the AFC, they didn't have Julio or Brown for most of the year. That's even more impressive, man.
I watched Tennessee destroy Miami, and
To the game,
Derrick
too,
Henry
by the way.
and Tannehill only threw the ball 15 times. They still did the same thing, just with different guys. This is a team that literally is built for plug and play with that roster.
Man,
They
Washington
get
should
guys
have been
who
in the
fit what they want to do, not
Washington.
try to make everybody. The guys they get fit their scheme no matter what. They will make the small adjustments, but they don't make massive adjustments, nor do they try to put square pegs around holes. Jack Del Rio, paging Jack Del Rio. William Jackson is a man corner, not a zone corner. Anyway, Tennessee, I mean, their roster management alone has been nothing short of amazing. And like when I realized that stat that they set a record for most players used in a season, and they're the number one seed, I said, you can't deny them at this point.
Right.
It's not like they rode good fortune; they rode horrible fortune.
Washington and the Ravens should have been in the playoffs, bro. I'm sorry.
Washington who?
Washington should have been in the playoffs. We would have won one more game if we had it not had COVID. And I think the Ravens should have been in there.
The COVID and
what's funny is the Ravens got screwed so bad with injuries, man, at the end of the year. They lost 5 out of their last 6 without Lamar there. I'm like, shoot, if Lamar and that defense hadn't got hurt, Cincinnati might not be in the playoffs. They was winning that division by 3 games when he went down.
Y'all see
they might not have been in the playoffs. That's crazy when you think about it.
You see this right here, high and tight. Antonio Gibson, if you're watching, right here. Hindsight.
So you put money on the game, Shotguns, Saturday?
Yeah, I do that.
I'm going FanDuel. I've been winning on FanDuel. I'm at $2 now. Hype.
Mike should be coach of the year. That's a good point. People are talking about that all around the league.
Probably will get it, man.
He should. I mean, you. And what's funny is that no one talks about Tennessee.
Cincinnati got a claim.
They're not a sexy team to the media. Everyone wants to talk about Buffalo.
They like the Spurs.
Want to talk about
Cincinnati
Kansas City
got a claim.
because they score points.
You said they like what, Shotguns?
They actually like the Spurs.
Cincinnati got the claim, like the Spurs.
They like the Spurs.
Okay.
They're born.
I couldn't hear you.
Fundamental.
Okay.
Yeah, which is funny is I actually hate Greg Popovich, and I'm probably the only person in the world who does. I hate the Spurs.
Yeah, I think you are the only person.
You are the only person that hates Popovich.
He's an annoying prick. He really is. Like, a lot of people give him credit because he says all this cool social justice shit, but really, when you boil it down, he's kind of an asshole. He just gets a lot of credit because he says a lot of very PC shit, but he's still an asshole. He gets a lot of credit for having. Yeah, he did a really good job putting a roster together that just was
not really. They cheated. Like man, everybody knows.
Why
everybody watch
couldn't
the
they
NBA.
get out of there?
Anybody knows if you watch the NBA that San Antonio cheated because clearly Celtics should have been the number one pick when Duncan came out. Man, it's like that's clear. Like, there's no way Rick Pitino's history could have been different if Cincinnati had got that envelope with Tim Duncan's name in it, man. And that's the year they had the worst record in league history too, man. The Celtics. They lost the fucking envelopes to San Antonio, who tanked because David Robinson got hurt and he didn't play a starter the rest of the year.
Robinson came back though. He was on that first championship.
Yeah, he came back. He came back after they drafted Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan's rookie year, they won it. That's what happened.
Wasn't Duncan's rookie year. I think it was his second year, wasn't it?
One of the two. They won it like right after that, man. And I'm like, man, they pretty much cleaned up.
And Knicks fans have hated Tim Duncan ever since.
I'm glad though. They would have been in Celtics. Celtics would have been winning them.
Yeah. Well, fellas, I think we'll save the rest of the topics for next week. So next week we'll be recapping this weekend's games, and we'll talk about some Washington football team free agency. We'll probably continue to talk about the quarterback carousel as it arrives. But we got some good games this weekend. It's going to be some fun football to watch. I think we'll all be probably glued to the stages watching it. So let us know in the comments if you're watching this later. Who do you think are going to be your two to go to Super Bowl? Put that down in the comments. We got the Bengals and Titans, 49ers, Packers, Rams, Buccaneers, and the Bills, Chiefs. It's going to be a good weekend of some football. Should be exciting, even though our team's not in it. But, I think we're all football fans outside of being fans of the Washington football team. And in Shotgun's case, the Green Bay Packers. Best of luck to you and your team. And thank you for joining us today, Shotguns. We appreciate you hopping on with us. It's been a while.
That's what Roger be doing right there, baby.
That's right. Mess with the bull, you get the horn.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, you still
going, one thing.
It's 100 proof, guys. Let y'all know.
Hey, one thing, though. Listen to this. You know that y'all most views last year was actually with me, right?
It was. Very true. Very true.
But that true. Packers, it traveled,
Yeah, that's what we do. That's how
we actually bought strippers to do the ads.
Well, don't leave yet. Stay online when this is over, and we'll kick it for a few more minutes. But hey, we want to thank everyone for joining. If you haven't already done so, please go like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to our next goal. We're so close to 400 subscribers. We're sitting at 385. Please help us get to 400. That's 15 more. Hopefully we'll continue to grow this channel over the summer. We're trying to do a whole bunch of other stuff, even non-football related, just getting together weekly and talking about whatever, anything goes, here in the Washington Football Addicts, we will talk about anything and everything. So we have no boundaries whatsoever.
Smash that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that. You know it. You hear it at the end of every podcast in existence. You know what to do. Do it. Do it. Yes. As they say, do it. Well, we thank you guys for listening and sticking with us. For those who did join, big shout out goes to everyone who did plug in today. Marcus, as always,
on every show. Ryan, thank you so much, bro. I am Rich, first time on today. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening and engaging. Ref the District, thank you for joining. Burgundy Boss Podcast, Derek Manning, thank you. Mr. Greg Delaney, thank you for joining. And Shotguns, always joining us too, friend of the show. Washington football team, Declassified Podcast, thank you for hopping in the stream and kicking it with us. Hey, we love you guys. You know, we got a long way to go till next season, so let's just have some fun. We'll be here every Thursday, or maybe shift to left or right. We'll see how it goes. But we thank everyone for listening, and we will catch you on the next time. As always, peace and hail.